Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us. We'll be starting front page review with The Nation. Major headline: Federal government insists on no work, no pay rule for varsity workers. Government has to differ on salaries, payment platform. Students to sue teachers, ministers as well. Government weighs options on petrol subsidy cash. Daily payment hits 18.69 billion naira. Tinubu, Shetima ticket, best for Nigeria now, says APC chair. Security, Tom Polo wins multi-million-dollar pipeline contract. Lagos extend Okada ban to 4 more councils. $418 million Paris Club refund. Our case against Malami by governors. NPA generates 172 billion naira in 6 months from the managing director. And PDP, BOT chair, Jibrin cautions Atiku, Wike camps. So, what do we start with?
Major headline.
Okay.
So, the Minister of Education, Adamu, said that the insistence by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, that's ASU, for payment of their 6-month salaries of the strike is what is stalling the negotiations. And they are saying that they had presented the matter to the President Muhammadu Buhari, who rejected it outrightly, saying that there's no work, no pay. They are going to follow through on it. You don't expect to be paid for a work that you have not done. And they are also saying that, that's according to the minister, that who will not compensate the students who have been at home for over 6 months, that if the students really need compensation, they should take ASU to court. But my own personal opinion is, since we are fighting for the good of all, ASU really needs to prove to us that their interest is not for their personal pocket as well. Everybody needs to tighten their belt in this case. So you have not worked for 6 months, but according to what I read this morning, that the federal government has agreed to every other thing that they have put aside these 6 months salaries they are asking for. They should forgo it. Because nobody will compensate the students who are at home for over 6 months. Who will pay them for the time that is lost? If they are really serious about this fight, they should forget about the salaries because they did not do the work and get what the federal government is giving them so that they can go back to school.
Wow.
Personally.
That's a huge sacrifice.
Because if we were to look at it that way, they would say when the students come back, they are going to, take them on what they have lost. So if they are going to take the students through what they have lost, the 6 months that they have lost, then
they can't move on.
I'm just saying if that is the
no, but they can't move on
argument.
if they don't take them. So we just count it that there's lost time. There's a gap in time.
Wow.
You can't move on.
That's a huge one.
Yes, so government weighs options on petrol subsidy cash. So daily petrol subsidy payment has hit 18.397 billion. The Minister for Finance says that is daily. This is what we pay for subsidy. And there's a lot of numbers here. So this meeting, there was a meeting called, is the House of Reps investigative hearing on petroleum subsidy. And the Minister for Finance was there. And she's saying that based on our current numbers, how much we're paying to subsidy, she's hoping that this would lead to a meeting where there'll be other people, stakeholders and other people within the industry, political parties, they'll sit and talk about whether Nigeria can continue to carry this burden of the subsidy, given this new number. And he says if the daily number is at 18.397 billion daily, by the end of the year, from January to December, it would be 6.715 trillion, and we cannot afford it. She also gave breakdown of how much we have paid as subsidy over the years. She gave an amount between 2013 to 2016 and the different accounts that have been used, to pay for this subsidy. Anyway, the couple of questions at the end of her session, they said the chairman of the committee, Rep. Ali Ibrahim, queried the complicated formula for computation of the fuel subsidy and just, different sort of questions. I would like to see how this moves on to the next meeting and if we can finally make a decision, because obviously we can't afford this amount.
Honestly.
Account for how much it consumes of the product it's in trouble. This one don't even can deflate. I was excited. I wanted to think the MPA generates 172.285 billion in 6 months in the first half of 2022, but
when we now take that money and put it into...
Okay. So, according to the managing director of the MPA, Bello Koko, the MPA generated 172.285 billion in 6 months, and that amount of money, only 78.4 billion was remitted into this consolidated revenue fund account. And he gave a breakdown of how the remittance was done. 50 billion was done in cash remittances, and 25% of the revenue generated went for, that's 25% of the revenue generated, and then a 28.2 billion relates to the remittances concerning other periods. That's just the breakdown of it. We don't know where the other excess went to and what it was used for in this story, but that's how he gave the breakdown. And he says this is very encouraging of the agency, and shows that they are productive. But then we are using it to build subsidies.
Yeah, exactly.
So Tom Polo wins a multi-million-dollar contract to curb oil theft. So essentially, this is not a new contract. It's a renewal of the contract that was paused under the previous administration of the former presidents, Goodluck Jonathan, and the minister, Deizani. They created this portfolio of contracts to secure the waterways and prevent bunkering and oil theft. And it was successful because the government was able to increase production capacity to about 2 million barrels per day. Right now, the government isn't doing that well. Nigeria isn't producing to capacity because we're losing over 500,000 barrels to illegal bunkering daily. So they now brought back the Tom Polo deal, giving him the contract where it will be making, the total amount is making per month is about 4 billion naira. However, it's not just going into his pocket, because immediately the contract was awarded to him, he organized a massive meeting in his country home that saw 5,000 youth leaders of all the Niger Delta community gather in his house. So one of the people that attended the meeting said, I believe that Tom Polo the new deal with Tom Polo would work because he has the network and credibility to act as a bridge between the communities and the government. So he brought in warring youth cult groups within Niger Delta all together, as well as all the generals in MEND, which was his organization before, and other youth leaders generally, to talk about how to now secure the waterways to prevent more loss and increase our production capacity. Looks good. We could have avoided this.
Community management. Yeah. Getting the community and get them
involved, So we'll go on a break right now. When we come back, we'll continue with front page review. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. We'll continue the front page review with the Punch major headline: endless borrowing. Debt servicing gulps 13.17 trillion naira under Buhari. Education suffers. You can't miss the picture. Massive flooding. Commuters groan. Business shut down as Songo-Ota Road collapses. Association fumes as Lagos extend ban on Okada. Lawless soldiers brutalize cop for seizing colleague's motorcycle. Police uncovers shrine with 20 cops, suspects kick. Trapped Forex, more airlines to suspend Nigerian operations. Our federal government to end petrol subsidy in June 2023. Why Muslim ticket is problematic for Nigerians, that's from PFN. Take battle to terrorist hideouts. Buhari orders military. Sean Rivers votes. Lose poll. Wike wants PDP. So, human interest, definitely.
Yes, so some soldiers attached to the Abalti Barracks in Surulere, Lagos, allegedly brutalized 3 policemen for arresting a yet-to-be-identified man who they are suspecting to be one of the soldiers, who was caught defying the state government ban on Okada in the area. So he was riding his Okada around Ojuelegba to link the barracks when the policemen caught him, and they were trying to enforce the ban on him by taking his motorcycle. Before they realized it, about 20 soldiers came at them, started beating and brutalizing the policemen in question, and then took away the bike, took the man, and headed straight to the barracks. One of the policemen was badly injured, and so he was taken to the Randu government hospital for treatment. The police has confirmed the story, said they've sent a message to the soldiers, and they are hoping to get a response back on what is going to be done about those soldiers who attacked the policemen. I'm just wondering why there seemed to be a disconnect between the security agencies. Are they not supposed to be working hand in hand? So it's painful.
All right, so who has the story
picture,
about the...
I've got a picture story.
Yes.
So this is just to highlight the deplorable condition of the Songo-Ota end of the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. The correspondent for The Punch says that, you know, you can see that the road has totally collapsed and is affecting residents and as well as businesses. They also talked to a few residents and business people around there. Getting on the road, people have to go via one way because the road itself is just, as you can see, there's no road.
There's no road.
There's no road anywhere.
That's
and then those who run their businesses along that road say business has definitely declined since the road became this bad. He says that a few of them, those that sell tiles and other household wares, have said they haven't gotten clients in a long time because of this.
The Shrine story.
Yeah, I have it in another paper.
Okay, let's move on to Daily Sun, major headline. Angry Buhari orders security agents to sweep out terrorists. Direct Humanitarian Affairs Ministry orders to ensure IDPs return unhindered. In other news, Lagos extend ban to Okadas to 4 other local governments, 5 LCDAs. Obi accuses APC, others of disinformation, deceit. Certificate forgery suit against Tinubu, APC, INEC for hearing October 12th. Ojuelegba, court strikes out suit seeking to nullify Adeleke's nomination. Transactions on e-Naira app hits 4 billion naira. That's from Emefiele. Nigeria spends 18 billion naira daily on subsidy, says Finance Minister. ASU federal government talk ends in a deadlock. And 2023, PDP goofed by not zoning to Southeast. That's from APC chair. So.
Okay, so let me quickly take the Ashu story. Yes, okay. So the suits somebody had taken an action to court to strike out this, the name of, the nomination of the PDP governorship candidate, who is the governor-elect now of Osun State. And the court struck out that suit because, of course, the person who brought the action had no locus. That means he has no capacity or right to, to bring that action in court.
So that was basically it. So soldiers, 2 gunmen, lady killed in Abia State.
Sad story here at Ebem Ohafia, in Ohafia local government area of Abia. On Wednesday, they said that a group of unknown gunmen had seen a soldier, but in plain clothes, and they said they trailed him, got to a spot, and then shot him. The soldiers, other soldiers heard about the incident, and in response, they went there. When they got there, the unknown gunmen attacked them, started shooting at them. The soldiers were able to kill 2 of them, but unfortunately, an innocent person got shot as well. Oh. They said that she lived in the area with her father, and then this stray bullet just hit her, and she died instantly. The family, of course, is really is aggrieved, and the military they have also confirmed that this incident happened and that those 2 unknown gunmen were killed. My heart really goes out to the family of this young lady. Yeah.
Really sad. Let's move on to the Vanguard, major headline. We've taken the story about how the Nigerian government spends 18 billion naira daily on fuel subsidy payment, but we haven't taken the story about $600 million trapped in Nigeria. Foreign airlines pull out of Nigeria, and then we have another story we haven't taken. Lagos extending Okada ban to 4 more local governments, and some northern governors destroying primary education. Let's talk about.
I took that. So this was at a ministerial media briefing, and the Minister for Education, Adamu, was just saying, in response to a question about the failure of the nomadic education, that had been put together by the previous administration of Goodluck Jonathan, and, why it had just fallen by the wayside. He says the problem with nomadic education is the exact problem with primary education, especially in the north. And he says when he first came in, he had said they had to declare a state of emergency over education, especially with primary education in the North. He says he does not feel that the governors in the North were doing enough to manage that sector. And so that's why we have, he's talking about over 6 million children, out-of-school children as of today, and everyone is moving from the different areas in the North to Abuja. And he says that it's important that these Almajiri and these nomads have a place that they can go and receive education wherever they move to. And he feels that the state governors need to declare a state of emergency within their states, and then government can now help, heavily. But at this point, without state governors' willingness to put in the work, government can only give a little help here and there. And that the problem now concerning all the other levels of education would not make, whatever government does wouldn't really make a difference if foundational education is not addressed. So please, I mean, this is a serious indictment of the northern governors. We need to do better when it comes to primary school education and out-of-school children in this region.
Yeah, so foreign airlines are complaining seriously that they're not able to repatriate the funds that they make operating in our airspace. And as at July ending, the funds for over 20 foreign airlines has risen to over $600 million. And stakeholders are saying that if this is unchecked, it will likely get to 1 billion by the end of 2022. So because of this, United Arab Emirates, Emirates have said that they are not going to be doing business in Nigeria from September 1st. So they are going to find ways to return those people who have booked their tickets because they can no longer keep making losses in the country. I think British Airways too is planning to probably stop working in Nigeria for now till they are able to also get their resources. But some stakeholders are saying that this is, especially for Emirates, that this is you people's fault. You heard that Nigeria Air was coming, that there was a plan to have our own airline going straight to Dubai, and you people decided to quickly increase your own. You were doing from Lagos, like twice daily from Lagos to Dubai, Abuja once daily. You increased it to 3 times because you wanted to monopolize the market. And didn't you know before that Nigeria is suffering dollar issue now, and you may not be able to get out?
The challenge is that many people will now start going to Ghana to get out.
Yes.
Like they will travel to Ghana. We take the business over there. Really, really sad. I want to take the story of the national grid shut down. An expert was being interviewed by Vanguard, and the person was breaking down how selfish it was that even under military era, that everybody was going on strike. One institution wasn't allowed to go on strike then, was NEPA, because of the impact it will have on the insecurity challenges that we're facing, saying that people should realize that insecurity would thrive, crime would thrive when there is darkness, and putting the country at total blackout, which was what the National Union of Electricity Employees did yesterday, was putting the country at huge risk. That the police run on several apps. There are many, the Vigiscope app, the Police Command Center, the Military Command Center, all of those which are powered could have shut down and put Nigeria. A senior police officer actually spoke on the question of anonymity that what the union did was laughable, because the issue is not with Nigeria, the issue is with their employers, and they just put the entire country at risk because they don't want to write an exam. And I'm sure that the union will have their own reasons, but this is the whole country that we're talking about. And let's not just say because we have accepted ASU doing this strike for greater good, and everybody now feels like we can also go on strike to get what we want. We really, really need to put the interest of the nation forward in some areas, and power is too essential for us to have a shutdown. According to the experts in the papers, this is a security threat to us as a country. That's all we can take on Front Page Review for today. When we return, we'll go right into the stories for the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.